Hello, good morning. Good morning. Welcome back after a long time. It's been how much time? What? 4 months? 4 months. 13, 16, 16 June was the last lecture. So 4 months. Okay. Uh, I I am privileged to teach such a bright bunch of students and sincere bunch of students who even after a gap of 4 months remember every single word taught. Correct, hai na? Okay, have you all gone through what we have done? Because we have completed our first two chapters. Okay, chronologically, we are doing CA, inter, tax, direct tax. We have to study a law called Income Tax Act 1961. A lot has changed since. You all are, of course, the digital generation. So you all know this very well that the new Income Tax Act 2025 has been enacted. Are yes or no? You all know that. ये पता है आपको? हाँ. But I am going to teach you the old income tax law, Income Tax Act 1961. So basically, sir is paying me to teach you outdated stuff. The first exam in which the new Income Tax Act will apply will be May 2027. So not just your exam May 26, but also September 26 and Jan 27. It is going to be Income Tax Act 1961 only. Sir, why? Because we have studied four concepts at least. We have studied the definition of person liable to pay tax, individual, HUF, company, firm including LLP, AOP, BOI. We have written the examples also. You'll have the class notes. Local authority and artificial juridical person. 7 categories. After that, we studied two things. The year of earning income and the year of calculation and payment of tax. Year of earning income is known as previous year and the year of calculation and payment of tax is known as assessment year. Correct? So 1 year you earn your income, next year you are going to calculate and pay your tax. Your exam May 26 is in 26-27. So you can calculate income of 25-26. Same is the case of September 26 and the same is the case of January 27. So your batchmates of your same year in college who are not in this batch but will come in the next batch, the syllabus taught here and there is going to be absolutely same because the same assessment year is applicable. New Income Tax Act ka applicability first financial year will be 26-27 and therefore May 27 will be the first exam. So we have to study Income Tax Act 1961 and we have to take it forward from where we have till where we have studied. We have finished our first two chapters. So first chapter it was only about person, previous year and assessment year. So very quickly applicable previous year for my exam is 25-26 and the applicable assessment year for my exam is 26-27. We have to study the law according to that because the Finance Act of 2025, this year's Finance Act, the amendments and tax rates given in this year's Finance Act is going to apply for all the exams of next year. May 27 में 2026 का budget. So even if the 2026 का budget is before your exam, it is not applicable to your exam. You are not expected to study a budget just 2 months before your exam. Obviously, ये समझ में आता है. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we also completed our second chapter, residential status and scope of total income. Well, I see quite some faces which I have not seen before. So basically, there are certainly those students who were not in the pre-result batch. That was basically a trial pre-result thing that we did. But foundation के exam के result के बाद you joined. Can I know how many those students who were not there in the pre-result batch, please? Have you gone through what we have done? No. Second chapter, residential status and scope of total income. Taxpayers will be divided in two categories. Kya two categories? Resident and non-resident. And income will be divided in two categories, that is Indian income and foreign income. Resident having Indian income, not even a question, obviously taxable. Non-resident having foreign income, obviously not taxable. But the chapter was done to do the two in between the intermediary situations, that is resident having foreign income. Is that taxable? And non-resident having Indian income. Is that also taxable? Yes, sir. Why? Because globally there are two principles of levy of tax. Principle of residence applied by the home country, and principle of source applied by the host country. If you are a tax resident, not in India, anywhere in the world, that country will tax your global income. And even if you are a non-resident, at least the income that you earn here is going to be taxable. Of course, we studied individual ka the biggest, that is 182 days, 63, 65, exceptions of 63, 65. Some people who will never come to India still become resident, citizen of India, income exceeding 15 lakh, and not a tax resident in any other country. I'm doing a quick recap. If you want, I can do it again also, because I understand it has been a gap. Whatever you say. No? Okay, you all have gone through, because I had told sir to send a message that please go through. Message nahi. You all did it voluntarily. You remember it without doing anything. That is why I said I'm privileged to teach you guys. Okay, do one thing. Especially the ones who were not there in the pre-result batch. Kindly go through everything. Okay. And thereafter, if you have any doubt, you can personally ask me before class or after class. If it's a common doubt of a lot of students, we will discuss it mutually in class. No problem. Okay. And I think we also completed ROR or NOR. We also did questions. Once you go, I start the next chapter. When we do questions of this chapter, along with that, we have still some questions left to be solved from the previous chapter. So, us time pe it will serve as a revision also. So that is provided you have gone through, and believe me, I have got no problem in doing it again also if you feel so. No, whatever you say. So shall we go ahead then? Just to let you know, our syllabus is over. Only 2 things are left. Ye bhi bola tha. Only 2 things are left. So open that section 4, which we wrote. You know, I said this is the Gita, Quran, Bible, Agam, Kalpasutra, Guru Granth Sahib, whichever religion you believe in. The charging section. It is this section that has created the liability of income tax on taxpayers in our country. Hello. So income tax is payable by every person. Person done. In each assessment year done. Net taxable total income earned during the previous year done. And the calculation of income depends on residential status and scope of total income. Ye correct hai? So we are done with person, PY, AY and residential status. Only 2 things left. What 2 things? We have to now in our syllabus go and learn 2 things. We have to learn calculation of 2 things. Calculation of net taxable total income. Bro, tax is not payable on income. Tax is payable on net taxable total income. You will be having different sources of income. Did I also tell you about how our syllabus is placed, the various heads of income? You have to pay tax on income belonging to other persons. That is a chapter called. Okay, I'll in this NTTI wala part, I'll give you a quick recap in 2 minutes about what are those 9 chapters that we have to study only for calculation of income. And of course, once you calculate income, on the income so calculated, you will have to calculate net tax, income and tax. What do you think should be calculated first, income or tax? Because on that income we will be calculating tax. So obviously we will be learning 9 chapters of NTTI first, and then we have 3 chapters only for tax calculation. So effectively these 2 are basically the next 12 chapters out of first 14. 2 are over, no. Next 12 chapters ye hai. So what do we have to study in these 12 chapters is a basic thing that you should understand. We will be obviously learning calculation of income first, then we will go to calculation of tax. But in order to learn income calculation effectively, efficiently, better, you need to have a rough idea about how tax in our country is calculated. I am not teaching you tax rates right now. It is not possible to calculate tax unless you have calculated income. So all I am doing is giving you a rough idea about how tax calculation works. If you have this, you will understand income calculation better than others at least. Okay, let us have a rough idea of how tax is calculated in our country. India follows a concept called slab rates. Slab rates means as your income increases, your tax will increase. A wrong statement. Because understand, if we keep one flat rate of 1% income tax or 2% income tax, still as your income will increase, your tax will increase. as your income increases, your tax ka rate will also increase, and that new rate will apply on that incremental amount. Sir, kya bol raha hai subah subah? Okay, wait. Let us start your income with an amount called 0. Upper side, it can go to infinity. It can be 1 crore, 10 crore, 100 crore, any amount. Whatever be your income upper side, the first 2,50,000 of your income, first 2,50,000, you start with 0. First 2,50,000 annual total income. Income tax will not be calculated on monthly amount, weekly amount, daily amount. Income tax will be calculated on your total income of the year. If your total income of the year is up to rupees 2,50,000, you understand this is someone earning roughly a little over 20,000 per month. Think about it. 20, I know 2,40,000, a little over 20,000. We don't want any tax from you, bro. You take care of your household, you take care of your family. तू घर चला, हम देश चला. ये logic है. This is the logic behind the slab rate system. This is very famously known as the basic exemption limit. The amount up to which India will not levy. इस screen में आ नहीं रहा है क्या? Just 1 second. Just give me a second. Okay, fine. हाँ, I can see it is visible. Okay. हाँ, oh, क्या एक second के लिए get distracted. Okay, let's focus on this. First 2,50,000, they don't want any tax. That is called basic exemption limit. But the moment you cross this amount and your income reaches up to a level of a threshold of 5 lakh, we will take a very low rate of tax from you, and that is only and only 5%. But a slab rate is what? This 5% will apply on the amount after 2,50,000. So for example, someone has annual income of 4 lakh, will obviously fall in 5% because has crossed 250. But that 5% will not apply on 4 lakh, that will apply on 1,50,000. Okay, out of 4 lakh, first 250 gone, and the remaining amount will go in 5%. So as your income increases, on that additional amount, the rate of tax will also increase. Once you cross 5 lakh and you go up to income level of 10 lakh, so what is the income in this range now, if you are understanding what is the slab rate system? In this range, 5 to 10, 5 lakh, on that amount, rate of tax will be 20%. So supposingly someone has income of 8 lakh, or faster, 8 lakh. Is 20% applicable on 8 lakh? No. On 3 कैसे आया? 0 to 250, 0. Next 250, 5. And the remaining 3 lakh will go in. Correct hai? And the balance after 10 lakh. Okay. Some of you may be aware, but then officially the balance after 10 lakh. Upper side it can be any amount, no? Once you cross income level of 10 lakh, the rate of tax that you will pay is 30%. So supposingly someone has income of 12 lakh, will enter 30, but it will not be 12 lakh ka 30. Very quickly, first 2 lakh 50, 0. Next 2 lakh 50, 5. Next 5 lakh 20, and the last 2 in the example. Be 15 hota to it would have been 5 lakh, and 1 crore hota to 90 lakhs. After 10 lakh, anything will be taxable at 30%. That is the concept of slab. Rough idea. But this rough idea will make you now understand a lot of things. So supposingly you have a family business, and where people who are not working in the family business, who are not participating, but still are getting paid salary or commission or etc. from the family business. What is the reason behind that payment? Because the family business, which may be run by one person being the proprietor, has crossed 10 lakh ka amount as taxable income, and therefore is coming under the rate of 30. Let us reduce that profit by paying some salary, some commission to family members. Money stays in the family. We show expenses, reduce the profit. So we save 30. And the recipient, who is a family member, will start at 0. Then go to 5. Then go to 20. Till 10 lakh you can pay no. समझा क्या? Now, don't react to this by saying, sir, मैंने तो किधर WhatsApp पे I have studied that 12 lakh तक there is no tax in our country. Oh, WhatsApp University, रहने दो. This is only a rough idea. Rough idea में भी I have to give you some more idea. But basic idea about slab rates. Okay. Let me also now tell you, there are separate slabs for HUF, AOP, BOI, artificial juridical person. So because they are obviously different taxpayers, so their slabs are obviously going to be different. And now I can very strongly make this point that HUF in our country is a tax evasion tool. So as an individual, if I cross 10 lakh rupees and I am falling in 30%, I want to save tax. One good idea is pay some expenses to my family members. That is one thing if I have a business. But if I don't have a business, I can divert some of my income and tell people to pay my HUF. That is one way in which I can divide my income. In fact, I believe you all have studied quite a bit of GST by now. So you all know about the exemption up to 20 lakh rupees. Up to that turnover, there won't be any GST. I can create HUF and take that GST ka benefit also. So by creating these organizations, I am actually diverting some of my income in a different name, but the money comes in my household and I am able to save taxes. HUF is a tax evasion tool. But of course, you can open HUF only if you, 12th standard ka basic hai. Those who follow Hindu Succession Act, which is Hindu, Jain, Sikh and Buddhist. So there is no concept called Christian undivided family or Parsi undivided family or Muslim undivided family. वो नहीं है because succession laws are different. So those who follow Hindu Succession Act can open HUF and divert their incomes. ये clear है? Next, you should also know there are separate slabs for senior citizens. So just in case you happen to discuss with people at home that aaj slab rate seekha that after 2,50,000 you have to pay tax, which is correct. But if you are talking about this with your grandparents, then 250 is the wrong answer. For senior citizens, the basic exemption is 3 lakh rupees. So that 60 years is senior citizen, 3 lakh ke baad tax will start. Slab rate system only, but the basic exemption is 3 lakh. If you have someone who is 80 years and above, we call them super senior citizens. They are known as very senior or super senior, you can call them. Their basic exemption is 5 lakh rupees. 12 lakh WhatsApp University is garbage, rubbish hai wo. What is that 12 lakh will be taught to you at an appropriate time. Basic exemption for you and me is 2,50,000. 60 years and above it is 3 lakh and 80 years and above it is 5 lakh. So you should have idea that their slabs are a little different. One more thing that you should know in this rough idea, that there are some taxpayers who are not so privileged. They have something called flat rate of tax. So companies, firms, LLP, इनको slabs नहीं, they don't have slabs, they have flat rate of tax. Example, if you have a partnership firm, if you have LLP, they don't have slabs, they don't have basic exemption. If you and me earn 1 lakh rupees, our tax will be 0. Q? Below basic exemption. Firm ka tax will be 30,000. 10,000 income, 3,000 tax. 1,000 rupees ka income, 300 tax. Bro, 10 rupees ka income, 3 rupees ka tax. Listen to this next statement. Every rupee will be taxable at a flat rate of 30%. Every rupee of income. No basic exemption, no slabs. Individuals need money to run their house. HUF needs money to run the family. Companies, firms are flooded with funds. They don't need any basic exemption. They don't need any slabs. You understand what is happening? So, unke liye there is no basic exemption or slab. They will be subjected to a flat rate of tax. Is that clear? Okay. One more thing you should know. You should know that we also have something called new regime. Every question of tax rates chapter we will have to solve twice. Tax as per old regime and tax as per new regime. Did I tell you a little about chapter 6A deductions? Did I? Or you all don't remember maybe? No? Okay. When I will do the NTTI ka explanation, at that time I'll talk about it. There are some tax benefits that we are eligible for. life insurance premium, medical insurance premium. By taking those benefits, we are actually reducing our taxable income. And on that, we were always paying some tax. But then taxpayers have put a pressure on the finance minister that, ma'am, please reduce rates of tax. So her argument was, you can't ask for double benefit. On one hand, you are taking all the deductions, and on the other hand, you are asking me to reduce rates of tax. Do one thing, forego your deductions. Don't take your deductions. So taxable income will be higher. And on that higher amount, I am going to reduce your rate of tax. So income tax law becomes simple. Because so many deductions, you don't have to study only. But the problem is this word. So you can pay tax as per the old rates or new rates. Which one will you pay? Whichever is higher. CS are partners in nation building. No? Whichever is lower. Now, this line is small or big? Baju mein you have to draw another line. No. So you will have to calculate tax as per old by taking the deductions and applying the higher rates. These rates. And then forego your deductions, the income amount will change, the rates of tax will change, calculate tax again, pay whichever is beneficial. Which simply means we will have to calculate tax twice in all cases. Unless the question is very clearly stating that this taxpayer has gone in the old regime or new regime. The moment it is optional, we need to have knowledge of both and choose the better one. Ye correct hai? Also, and the last point in this rough idea, I only wanted to give you some rough idea about tax calculation. We cannot learn tax without obviously calculating income first. Hello. Last point, there are certain incomes which will not be taxable at the slabs above. They will be subjected to something called special rates of tax. Certain incomes will be taxable at special rate. I'll just take one example from this. Special rates in CA final is a chapter, separate chapter. So if you all have 18 chapters in your syllabus, CA final may we have 41 chapters. I have told you this, that CA final ka syllabus is double of inter. This full syllabus plus the other part which is not in your syllabus. Only one part of Income Tax Act is inter ka syllabus. Only one law, and that also only one half of it. I remember distinctly telling you this. Okay. So final mein to this is a full-fledged chapter, but inter mein some of the sections of this chapter are applicable, and I will take one of them as an example. If you have earned income in the form of winning from where? Winning from lottery. ये डिस्कस किया है अपन ने. Then GST में what did you discuss? Lottery. छोड़. I became CA before GST was enacted, and all I know is I have to pay 18% to the government on my income. There is a Pani Puri wala in Chennai who got GST notice because he received UPI payments of 40 lakhs. He didn't know anything about GST. I know same as much as he knows. Let's not discuss GST. It is dangerous. The people who have created it still don't understand what exactly it is. Let's not talk. Tax, income tax. Okay. Lottery, crossword puzzle. Hello. Crossword puzzle, Sudoku, etc. Whatever you. Card games. Card games. Look at your smiles. Any other game in the nature of betting, any kind of gambling, online be covered. Any game in the form of luck, any game of chance, and bro, just in case you don't, just only so that you don't have any confusion, even winners of TV game shows, winner of a show called Indian Idol, KBC की नहीं बात कर रहा हूं. KBC of course is a casual winner. I am not talking about कौन बनेगा करोड़पति. I am also talking about winner of a show called Indian Idol. You think it is talent based? No, you need to have a sad story. Big Boss. I don't think you all watch Big Boss. No, no, no. We are beyond. You do. ऐसे से ब्रेन धोना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. It's okay. Personal choice. Okay. Any game of that TV game show is also considered this. This is in short in income tax law known as casual winning, because we can't be writing such a long sentence again and again every time we discuss lottery winnings. So this is known as casual winning. इसके ऊपर the rate of tax is a flat rate of 30%. Flat rate of 30%. मतलब listen, you have 1 lakh का salary income or business income, no tax. Sir, क्यों? Below the basic exemption limit. But if you have 1 lakh lottery, you will have to pay 30%. No basic exemption, no slabs. So how are we going to calculate tax effectively? Okay. We will calculate your net taxable total income. Will this include your normal incomes? Day-to-day incomes, salary, business, rent, dividend, interest, and will this also include your special incomes? Ultimately, total income will contain everything. We will split your incomes into 2 parts, that is normal income and special income. On the normal incomes, we will apply normal rates as above. I am purposely avoiding writing slab rates because some assessees also have flat rates. अगर company firm है, so that normal rate is also a flat rate. So to avoid confusion, I am writing normal rates, and special income will be taxed obviously at special rate. This tax and this tax will be the total that you will have to pay. You will have to segregate your special incomes at the time of tax calculation. So we have one income which is in your syllabus, casual winnings, luck wala, chance wala winnings. We have some other incomes as well. वो capital gains करके एक chapter है, उसके अंदर we will talk about it. For now, you just relax. I only had to give you a rough idea of what is tax calculation, because if you have this rough idea, you will understand calculation of NTTI much better. Is that clear? Obviously, our focus was not. ये clear है ना tax part? Okay, चलो. Our focus right now is not to go and learn calculation of tax. Our current focus is to go and learn net taxable total income, because on income we will be calculating tax. Incomes that you earn, how to earn income tax law will not teach you. You learn the way you want. You earn the way you want. Income tax will only teach you the tax treatment, which will be basically an income on which you have to pay tax. मतलब गवर्नमेंट को इस पे टैक्स चाहिए और हमको टैक्स चाहिए, वी वांट टू टैक्स इट. और ऑल्टरनेटिवली एन इनकम विच इज not taxable. Not taxable is a term which I always want you guys to avoid. The correct legal term for this is exempt income. Exempt income matlab those incomes on which income tax is not payable. One example you will have to give me because I have taught you this. Agriculture income, no tax. Correct? Did I also tell you the reason? I must have, obviously. I say this in every class. Income tax is levied by central government, and any tax on agriculture can be levied only by state government. So unless and until there is an amendment in the constitution, there will never be an income tax. There will never be income tax on agriculture. So that's only one of the exempt income, and many exempt incomes. Agriculture is just one of them. So we have to obviously learn those incomes on which tax is not applicable. This is our chapter 3. Index है. Check कर what is the third chapter. Incomes not forming a part of total income. Matlab on these incomes, keep the index open. Okay, on these incomes tax is not payable. This is the third chapter that we are going to start now. But then because it has been a gap, so very quickly in the taxable income, I have taught you this, but very quickly please. Okay, taxable income that you will be earning will be divided into 5 categories, 5 parts, but these are all wrong terms. Never use terms like categories or parts. We call them 5 heads of income. The most two popular ways of earning income will be when you work for someone, you will be earning income in the form of salary. That's the first head of income in income tax law. And when other people work for you, that's the most important chapter in your entire syllabus, PGBP. PGBP का question comes for 15 marks. Out of 50 marks का direct tax का paper, 15 marks is only PGBP. And CA final में in 100 marks का DT का paper, 14 marks का question comes on. So out of 150 marks of direct tax that you have to appear for the rest of your CA course, 29 marks ka adjustments come only on PGBP. The most popular two sources of income globally, salary and PGBP, first and third head of income respectively, and this is a very, very accepted short form. Correct hai? Hello. Now these are your normal recurring profits. But if I sell some of my assets, do you understand I will earn some profit on sale of assets? Yes. Selling price minus cost price. That's an abnormal profit. You don't sell assets every day. नहीं तो stock हो जाएगा. So we can't merge your abnormal profits with your running incomes. Therefore, we have a separate head only to record abnormal profits, and that is capital gains. Fourth head of income. ये correct है? Only because in India wealth is concentrated in the hands of few selected people, तो यहाँ पर India में we also have a separate head of income only to tax rental incomes, that is income from house property. Rental incomes from properties which are let out. Let out समझते? Given on rent. वैसे it is like an investment income. Think about it. I am not actively involved on a daily basis. But because of its popularity in India, you randomly open any, go, एक काम करो, case study देता हूँ, ऐसे randomly walk into any office on this floor, on the floor above us, ये first floor है, तो below us तो नहीं, ground floor पे भी there are some classes, हाँ वही, 99 out of 100 premises will be on rent. You understand how frequent this is in a country like India, and thus we have a separate head of income only to tax rentals, that is income from house property. Of course, that is second head of income. We will learn them one by one. But then with this, do all the sources get over? Is this the only way in which we can earn income? No. We will be earning dividend on investment in shares. We will be earning interest if we have invested in debentures. We will be earning interest on our bank account, saving account, fixed deposit. For that, we have the general head of income, IFOS, that is income from other sources, and all these short forms are accepted short forms. We can use them in exam also. So anything which, what is IFOS in one line? Anything which does not get covered in the first four heads of income will be covered under, name itself is income from other sources. These are the 5 chapters. So वैसे ये देखोगे तो this is chapter number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Index open है ना? But sir, is taxable income over after this? Unfortunately, no. Because after this, we have to go and learn something called clubbing. Oh, CA students, expectation versus reality. Subah hone na de. Unfortunately, it's a Tuesday morning, not a Saturday evening. So, ye wo clubbing. This is where you will pay tax on income belonging to other persons. Surprising? I pay tax on my income, you pay tax on your income, you pay tax on your income. How are you going to make me pay tax on income of another person? Just imagine, my neighbor's wife has earned income, I am paying tax. Look at the affection. Bro, suno. One example I will give you, one example only to make you understand what the chapter is. Supposingly there is a minor child. It's a classic example of the chapter clubbing, and I believe some of you all must be. नहीं, because when I started उस time पे थे, तो अभी 4 months में and first year BCom में everyone turns 18. तो last 4 months में birthday गए. Some of you all, okay, you all are ashamed to admit it, but अभी है तो है. सुनो, minor child, my income tax law believes that, I am not saying it, income tax law believes minor child does not have brains. Income tax law says so. They can't have incomes. If they have incomes, it is the parents who are trying to exploit this, bro. This is the reason I wanted you to have idea about slabs. If the parents have entered the higher tax rate, they are purposely telling their payers to pay income in the name of their minor child, so that they can use the slabs of their minor child. Minor child does not know which share to buy or which FD to do. Brains nahi. Don't take it in the wrong way. Income tax believes what? And now you find logic in this. And thus, minor child ki income will be added, clubbed, taxable in the income of the parent. Of course, you will have quite a few questions about this also. Sir, which parent? Because parents are two. ये funny नहीं था, ये तो obvious है. Parents are two. Which parent? What does your common sense say? कम है, जिसकी इनकम ज्यादा है, because they want the higher tax rate to apply, no? Okay, so these details will be done in the chapter clubbing. I am only telling you the chapter names and the content. Clubbing, when we will do at that time, I will tell you, no. You can always have this question, sir, you are saying minor does not have brain, but some do. Some minor children do act in TV shows, in movies, sports में, music. They have talent-based income. If you want to know the answer, that will not be added in income of parents. वो minor की income count. So everything is written in that chapter, but at an appropriate time. Right now is not the correct time. Right now, I just wanted you to know the chapter. That also because we've had a gap. Okay. After this, sir, अभी income हो गया? No, bro. Income calculation totally has 9 chapters. अभी तो we are done with what? 1 exempt, 5 taxable, and एक ये chapter number 9 है ना index में. Check. अभी we have 2 more chapters only to calculate income. Then chapter 12, 13 and 14 are tax calculation का chapters. Hello. We have a chapter called set off and carry forward of losses. Losses are inevitable. देखो, we don't work for losses, but if they have to happen, they will happen. So supposingly you are doing 2 businesses. One you have profit, another you have loss. The profit obviously will be taxable, but after adjusting the loss. So if one business has profit of 5 lakh, other business has loss of 2 lakh, we pay tax on the net amount of 3 lakh. We adjust the 2 lakh ka loss against the profit of 5 lakh. You understanding what is happening? So which loss will be adjusted against which profit? What is allowed, what is not allowed, everything is given in this chapter, that is set off and carry forward of losses. Do you understand this? Sir, इसके बाद income calculation done? No, sir, not yet. After this, the amount that you get will be called GTI, that is gross total income. Income tax is payable on net taxable total income. This income is only gross total income. So obviously you won't be paying tax on this income. So sir, abhi what is left from this gross total income? We will be taking something called deductions under, this is known as chapter 6A. Income tax law is divided in sections, no? It is also divided in chapters. So all the related sections are kept in one chapter. All the deductions ka chapter are kept in this chapter. All the deductions ka sections are kept in this chapter called chapter 6A. इसमें वो life insurance का benefit, that medical insurance का benefit. If you are giving donation to any charitable trust, we will give you tax benefit for that also. If you are a person suffering from disability, physical, mental, we are going to give you tax benefit because you are disabled. And whenever we give you tax benefit, it is basically going to reduce the amount on which you have to pay tax. And after doing these deductions in chapter number 11, we can finally say that we have calculated our net taxable total income. And then we can move to calculation of tax. If you observe the index, we have tax rates in chapter number 12, which is old regime, new regime, both. From the tax so calculated, we will get some relief, which is the next chapter, relief under section 89, index खुला है. And there is also a concept called alternate minimum tax. As the name indicates, whatever is your tax, minimum this much you will have to pay. It will be A or B, whichever is higher. So these three chapters are on tax calculation, chapter 12, 13 and 14. Is that visible? Sir, after chapter 14 तो income and tax दोनों खत्म. Just observe. Sir, you said syllabus is over, income and tax left. Only to learn income and tax we have 12 chapters. 9 plus 3. Sir, abhi kya? Sir, listen. We still have about 3-4 chapters after this. What is this? Sir, is your tax calculated? Decided? What is your reaction? Okay, sir. 5 lakh tax done, sir. अरे done नहीं, pay. Done क्या होता है? Pay कर. The chapters after this are about recovery of taxes. TDS, TCS, advanced tax. Deciding tax is one thing and doing the recovery of tax is another thing. So how we will recover those taxes from you? Very basic level पे. These 4 chapters after tax calculation come at a very advanced level in CA final. Basic things about these topics are covered here. Hello. And we also have a chapter called return filing. Return filing basically is you know your income, you know your tax. You will know your income, but the officers sitting in the income tax department, they are known as assessing officers, AO. Because you are the assessee and they are assessing you, whether you have calculated your income and tax correctly. So they are known as assessing officer. Does not have supernatural powers. कि ऐसे सपने में he will come to know about your income. You have to communicate your income. You will have to give him details. How? WhatsApp. So iMessage. You will have to give all details of income by submitting a form. Earlier it was physical during my days. Now everything is digital. So you have to submit this data online to the income tax department. That is called filing of income tax return. So again, basic knowledge of that return filing chapter is covered in inter ka syllabus. In CA final, it comes again at a very detailed manner. The name of the chapter also changes to assessment procedure, because here we only have to study what we have to submit to the income tax department. Final mein, we are also taught that if the officer is dissatisfied about our declaration, how he is going to give us notices, give us summons, we have to reply to those notices, and if he does not finally get convinced, so how he will pass an order, how we can appeal against that order, how we can fight a case against the income tax department, all that is a part of your CA final syllabus. Only basic part of that is covered in your intermediate. Is that clear? So our task now is to first learn NTTI ka. NTTI ka how many chapters? 9 chapters. First exempt, then 5 heads, then clubbing, set off and deductions. We will first go and learn those incomes on which tax is not payable. That is exempt income. Exempt income is that income on which income tax is not applicable. If we talk about section numbers, देखो, section 1, I think I have given you this at least now. Section 1 में title and commencement, which is never important. Section 2, any law. Law to you are learning also. I just happen to see your timetable, because we as teachers get the timetable. They said today I think you don't have law. Today you have some costing, but tomorrow you have 3 hours tax and 3 hours law. So मैं तो suicide करता. मैं तो कल law नहीं है. My lecture timing is 7:30 also of the week. एक दिन 7:45 है. Why I don't know. हाँ जो भी है. तो if I had to study 3 hours of tax and 3 hours of law, मैं तो suicide. क्या? हाँ bro, I wanted Tesla. I am getting tax and law. बैठ जाओ, छोड़. सुनो, ओके. तो लॉ अगर आपने बेसिक भी यू हैव स्टडीड, फाउंडेशन में भी यू हैड लॉ, नो? एनी एक्ट में सेक्शन 2 is going to be definitions we will learn as and when required. We are not going to learn all definitions at one place. Section 3 was previous year, now we know previous year. 4 was charging. Section 5 and 6 your residential status and scope of total income का chapter. 7, 8, 9 के अंदर it is, if you remember, we did a list incomes which are deemed to be Indian incomes, where none of your activities were done in India but we still consider them as Indian incomes. Do you remember that? So 7, 8, 9 में वो खत्म हो गया. And then thereafter I just had to tell you the section number. Section 10 is that section in which they have given us exempt incomes. Of course, they have also given us exempt income from section 11 to 13. This is exempt income for charitable trusts. Charitable trust, ऐसे नाम सुन के poverty, गरीबी etc. goes without saying that charitable trusts will be eligible for tax benefit. उसके लिए there is a range of sections 11 to 13. There is a section 13A which is tax benefit to political parties. Sir, why tax benefit to political parties? Because they work for betterment of the, because they enact the law. And when the government proposes sections like these in the parliament, opposition does not oppose. And then related to political party, there will be something called electoral trust. They give funding to political parties. You all are the chat GPT generation. ऐसे chat GPT पे भी what is an electoral trust करोगे ना तो पता चलेगा. Sir, why are you not telling us? नहीं समझे? We will focus only on one section, that is section 10. Charitable trust, political party, electoral trust. There are other organizations called business trust, investment funds. All that is a part of your CA final syllabus. Okay. Let us focus only on section 10. In section 10, we have many clauses. Mark the words. Clauses. So we have section 10(1), section 10(2), section 10(2)A, section 10(26) AAA. This number that we write in bracket, you know it by what name? But in section 2 and section 10, you won't call them subsections. You need to have basics of any law. Okay. Section 2 is what? Definitions. Section 10 is a list of exempt incomes. You will not call them subsections. You need to know the difference between subsection and clause. When all subparts, पता है आपको? You've been taught this in law. I have taught. मैं अभी क्या है? Actually, see, I say this in every batch that I go and teach. But there hasn't been any batch in 15 years where I have taken a lecture and then gone after 4 months. So abhi, what I have taught and what I have not taught, that either you tell me. So I have told you, if they are related to each other, so they will be called. Kali video dekha lag. No, you remember? Acha, you've written. Good. Very. I told you I'm privileged to teach you guys. Okay. So no. When the subparts are related with each other, those who have forgotten, they will be called subsection. For example, section 139, return filing. So this is filing your return on time. This is filing return belated after the due date. This is revising your return. This is updated return. Are all of them related to return filing? We call them subsections. But in section 10 or section 2, they are not related with each other. It's a list. There is no connection between this and this, yeah, this and this, except that they are all exempt incomes. And thus here we will call them sub-clauses. Obviously, today's generation student can often have an objection to this. Sir, मैं exam orally तो नहीं. In my exam, if I have to write 10(1), in my mind I am thinking subsection के clause क्या फर्क पड़ता? Paper checker will never come to me. So if that is your reaction, तो ठीक है, वो subsection के clause को जो करना है. But the fact is that you need to know. अरे basic अगर law का नहीं पता तो you will not be a respected chartered accountant at least. Okay. So section 2 में and section 10 में we will call them clauses, and other sections, because they will be related with each other, we will call them subsection. Now as far as these clauses are concerned, again क्या होगा ना, I will do section 10(2), then I will go to section 10(4). So instantly you will go in a doubt. What is that doubt? Okay, 10(4) के बाद I will go to 10(6). अच्छा सर खाली even number कराना नहीं. See, listen, there are some clauses which are a part of inter. There are some clauses which are a part of final. There are some clauses which have been deleted from income tax law. अब जो डिलीटेड है, फॉर एग्जांपल 10(3) इज डिलीटेड, आई डोंट हैव टू डू दैट विथ यू. हेलो, there is 10 clause 4C, 4D, 4E, 4F, all that is a part of CA final syllabus. Obviously we will not be doing this part. We will be doing only those clauses of section 10 which are a part of intermediate syllabus. And in intermediate syllabus also there will be some clauses that we will do in this chapter, and there will be some clauses which we will do in other chapters. For example, there is a section 10(10). If you are an employee and your employer has given you something called gratuity, payment of gratuity act is deleted from law का syllabus. नहीं है ना आपके law के syllabus में होगा payment of gratuity act. Law is going on. You don't know? ठीक है. There is a law in our country called Payment of Gratuity Act, under which employers pay their employees something called gratuity. But from the gratuity that you receive, there is some exemption. Because it is related to your income from salary, this will be taught to you in that chapter, salary. There is a section 1032. Supposingly you are parent of a minor child. So, do you have to pay tax on income of the minor child as per what we just discussed some time back? So, when you add that income, from that income you subtract 1,500 rupees. Supposingly minor ka income is 5,000. Parents will pay tax only on 3,500. That is an exemption of 1,500 rupees per minor child. Because it is related to that chapter, we will learn this section in clubbing. So whatever exempt ka section is a part of some other chapter, it will be covered in that other chapter. Here we will learn only those clauses which are not covered anywhere else, the unrelated ones. So it has to be in inter ka syllabus and it is not covered anywhere else, is why we have this separate chapter, that is exempt income. If it is covered somewhere else, we will not be doing it. This is to answer that doubt. Sir, 10(2) ke baad why are you doing directly 10(4)? 3 is deleted. 4 ke baad why are you doing 10(6)? Because 10(5) will be done in salary ka chapter. Ye clear hai? So don't go and get confused with respect to the jump in clause number. Whatever is relevant and part of your syllabus, everything will be taught to you. We will start with the first clause of section 10, that is section 10 clause 1, the most popular of the chapter exempt income. You all know this, tax exemption for agriculture income. See, logic wala part we have studied, that constitutional issue. But now let us go and learn the law also. What exactly is the exemption for agriculture income? Here is the statement given in section 10. Income that you earn in the form of rent or revenue, both of them will be considered as agriculture. Please focus everyone. If you are a farmer performing agriculture operations, you will be selling agriculture products. It can be cash crops, non-cash crops, wheat, rice, sugarcane, anything. Is that revenue from agriculture? Is that exempt? Is that revenue covered in the definition of exempt income? Okay, that means revenue is nothing but sale of agricultural goods. Very easy. But this is what you need to focus on. Is it possible that the land on which the agriculture is being conducted, performed, does not belong to the farmer? He has taken the land on rent. So he will earn this. But the owner of the land will earn rent from the farmer. That rent, can you believe this, is also considered agriculture. Matlab, rent of the landlord will also be exempt if the tenant is a farmer. Matlab, what is agriculture income? Rent ke revenue? Both. What is agriculture? Rent or revenue? Both. So your own land, you are doing agriculture, only revenue. But if the owner of the land is different from the farmer, owner ka rent and farmer ka revenue, both are going to be considered as agriculture. Exemption will be given to rent or revenue, both. But ये one part of the statement है. Full statement is not over. Whatever I am writing in black color is what is written in the act, and whatever I am writing in a different color is obviously explanation of what is written. ये blue color वाला part is not written in the act. Act is only this much, rent or revenue. This is not a complete statement. Sentence नहीं है. Sentence will continue. From land, very very important to note. From land in agriculture income का exemption will be given only and only if the agriculture was in India. Agriculture done outside India is disqualified from any tax benefit. So if you have, I think scope of total income का एक आध question के अंदर we had seen this also. Agriculture done in Sri Lanka या ऐसा कुछ देखा था. If the agriculture activity was done outside India, then the profit so earned is going to be taxable. Handwriting issue. एक मिनट, ये वाला हाँ ब्रैकेट क्लोज नहीं किया. अच्छा, दैट इज व्हाट यू वर डिस्कसिंग. Okay. The bracket is still open by the way. आपने close की? No. Because we are not done. Are we clear that agriculture का exemption is only and only if the agriculture was done in India? So agriculture done outside India, the profit is going to be taxable. Why? ये ब्रैकेट है. Because foreign income can be taxable only for non-resident will not pay tax on foreign agriculture. Indian agriculture is exempt. Correct है. Just imagine Joe Biden, now a retired president, doing agriculture in US. तो क्या बोलेगा उसको कि outside India का agriculture is taxable, so pay tax. नहीं ना. So obviously only residents will be paying tax on foreign agriculture. So what is exempt, rent or revenue? Both. Only and only if the land on which the activities are performed is in India. But if you go and read the statement till now, the sentence is rent or revenue from land in India. Lol. Rent or revenue from land in India. Agriculture किधर है? See, the whole idea is that you are doing agriculture. That has to be mentioned in the section. No. Rent or revenue from land in India used for agricultural purposes. Rent or revenue from land in India used for agricultural purposes is the full statement. So what income is exempt? Rent and revenue, both, as long as two conditions are fulfilled. What are the two conditions? Land has to be in India, and second, the land has to be used for agricultural purposes. मतलब अगर foreign agriculture है तो taxable obviously only for residents. That we have already covered in scope of total income. So here our focus is for an agriculture is taxable and exempt only if the land is used for agricultural purposes. So this part we have understood the explanation. Landlord ka rent and farmer ka revenue. This part also we have understood. But the most controversial line of this exempt ka section is think about it. Okay, participate. What can be a controversy? What is agriculture? Sir, unless and until the term agriculture is clearly defined, we live in a country called India. The moment they say, "Acha sir, farming ka exemption," people can do anything. It may sound funny, it may sound as a bad joke, but people will start putting flower pots in their balconies and in their window grills and say, "Sir, ye to farming hai. I give water every morning. Sunlight you don't have to give, it comes apne aap." हाँ तो बस sir, I am doing agriculture. Incomes of all people in my family exempt. I say, we Indians, we can make any claim. There are people who fight such cases in Supreme Court. You will be surprised to know this. There was a lawyer in our country who underwent heart surgery and paid bypass surgery ka bill to the hospital and fought a court case, Delhi High Court mein, that this is my business expense. Because if my heart is in good condition, I can argue well in the court. This is an actual case law. Of course, वो Delhi High Court में lawyer का खर्चा नहीं. So he himself was the lawyer. The judge obviously dismissed the case, but you need to understand what kind of cases are fought in our courts and why we have so much pending litigation. Okay, so don't be surprised if people do this, and for this reason they have to clearly define what exactly is agriculture. In order for an activity to be classified or considered as agriculture, you need to perform some basic operations on the land, then only it will be considered as agriculture. So we have to go to school science, school geography. Basic operations. You must have studied things like sowing of seeds, ploughing the land, irrigating. हाँ ठीक है, तो water लिखना छोड़ो, I'll write etc. अरे harvesting, वो सब everything is covered in this. You have to perform the basic operations on the land. Then only the activity will be considered as agriculture. And there is one more activity that will be considered as agriculture. ये थोड़ा सा confusing है, so please focus. If you have performed something called basic plus advanced operations. मतलब basic you have performed, sowing the seeds, ploughing the land, supplying the water, harvesting, but then you have performed something called advanced operations. Sir, advanced operations are known as cutting, pruning. I told you, school level में जाना पड़ेगा. Or if you want the definition of what are advanced operations, एक line में, short line में, I'll tell you. This is basically making the product saleable, fit for market, marketable. So the wheat that is extracted from the land can't be sold in grocery shops. It has leaves around it. You have to remove that excess before selling it. Those are advanced operations. It is possible that the farmer himself has performed those advanced operations. Now, when you perform those advanced operations, are you putting extra effort? You will be earning a higher profit. That higher profit will also be considered as agriculture. Whether you want to perform those advanced operations or you don't want to perform is a choice. As a farmer, you can perform basic operations, extract your crop and hand it over to middlemen. They will perform the advanced operations and then sell this product in the open market. Choice is yours. If you perform, there will be extra profit that will be considered as agriculture. So if you perform only basic operations, is that agriculture? If you perform basic and advanced and earn higher profits, is that also agriculture? that additional profit of performing additional operations. But that middleman who is only performing the, come on, advanced operations, uska profit is not agriculture. Not agriculture matlab taxable. And this, agriculture income ka explanation ke liye I have to give you some points. In the first point, I want to make this clear. Someone who is doing only basic operations, is that agriculture? Yes. If you are doing basic plus advanced, is that also agriculture? Yes. But if you are doing only advanced operations, that will not be considered as agriculture. Basic operations are mandatory. With basic you do advanced, extra profit, no problem. But only advanced will not be considered as agriculture. Copycats, you have to understand also. I hope your tendency is not कि क्लास में एक बार राइटिंग पे फोकस करते हैं, अंडरस्टैंडिंग घट जाती. In case it is not clear, let me make it clear. In class, paying attention to what is being spoken is more important. The written part, we are using technology. One way or the other, the written part will reach you. Whatever I am writing will reach you. Beginning of the career, teachers used to teach using the whiteboard and the marker. So obviously, once the board is full, we had to erase things. But since 2017, we are using a different technology, tab-based technology. And every batch taken since 2017, I have the notes. So notes will come to you. Of course, with writing, if you understand better, I don't have a problem. I have absolutely no problem. But only on a condition that you don't divert your attention from what I am speaking. Correct? Hai? Chalo. So only basic agriculture. So taxable नहीं होगा ना, exempt होगा. Agriculture yes, taxable no. Only basic agriculture. Basic plus advanced, so extra profit agriculture. Only advanced will not be agriculture. Basic is mandatory. Once basic operations are performed on that land, and the land is very important in India, so from that land the farmer will earn revenue. That is exempt. And in case it is rented land, the landlord will earn rent. That is also exempt. Everyone is clear? I want to also summarize the other two explanatory points which we have already written here, but only as a clarification. Okay? Agriculture income ka exemption is only in India. We have already written, but I want to specify so that these points serve as a summary, as a recap for you. Outside India hoga to taxable. Taxable obviously only for resident. That is from scope of total income. Rent of landlord also exempt if tenant is a farmer. So they have specifically written rent in the definition of agriculture income to make it exempt. Surprising, landlord has not performed any operation, but we are giving him the benefit. And remember one thing, whenever something is in favor of taxpayer, it is logical. Understand. If something goes against you, you will go to court. If something is in your favor, why will you go to court? So anything in favor of taxpayer, even if it is hardcore rubbish, it is logical, because when no one protests, it is logical. I will be taking 3 hours ka lecture for you without giving you a single minute break. No one protests, so it is logical. You should say, nahi sir, aisa nahi bola na. Kidhar, what is the trend? What do other teachers do? 15 minutes, माथा खराब हो गया तुम्हारा. देखो, talk sensible things, rubbish बोलोगे तो nothing will happen. चलो देखते. If I get tired, I will. And after how much time in the class? अच्छा एग्जैक्ट 50% ड्यूरेशन, चलो ठीक है, जैसा आप बोलो वैसा, ओके. एंड सेकेंडली, as far as the speed of doing the lectures are concerned, we teachers know we can modify the speed as per. You tell me go fast, I can go faster than this, and you tell me go slow, I can go whatever you want. I am ready, I have got no problem in that. Fast, slow, or fast, what is going on is fine. ये सब मगजमारी नहीं चाहिए, फास्ट लो, ये सब वी कैन डू वॉट एवर यू वॉन्ट. देर आर टीचर्स विद लॉट्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस, सीनियर टीचर, जो बोलोगे वो लोग कर लेंगे. ओके, सो यू से गो फास्ट, वी कैन गो फास्ट, यू सो गो स्लो, वी कैन डू वॉट एवर यू वॉन्ट. बट ऐसा नहीं है दैट सर गो फास्ट एंड देन देर आर 10 people who don't understand only anything, and sir I am not understanding, go slow, then there are 10 people who are sleeping. Rather you should have said sir जैसा आपको जो. But if you say fast bhi chalega, slow bhi chalega, at any point of time you say go slow, I will go slow. You want, supposingly you don't understand anything, you want me to repeat, immediately interrupt and tell me to repeat. And immediately interrupt and say ke sir bahut slow ja raha, thoda fast. Done? Okay. So rent of landlord is also going to be exempt. Ye clarification, we already written it. So now these are new points. There are still about 3-4 points. Explanation of एग्रीकल्चर इनकम का टैक्स एग्जेम्पशन. एवरीवन इज विथ मी? चलो पॉइंट डी. अभी इसमें क्या है सर? इनकम फ्रॉम सेल ऑफ सीडलिंग्स एंड सैपलिंग्स. क्या क्या नाम ले, क्या कसम से ब्रो. सीडलिंग्स एंड सैपलिंग्स, this is written in income tax act, huh? In a nursery, one word has two meanings. ये वो nursery, you know which nursery this is, you know what are seedlings and saplings. They give you ready-made plants, they have done sowing of seeds, they have done everything, you just have to bring home, keep it obviously at a place where there is natural sunlight, so balcony, window grill, wherever, and make sure that you give the water required on time. So your job is very minimum. Major part has been already done by the nursery ka owner, and because of that it was declared as agriculture, and once it is agriculture, therefore exempt. Now you may argue with this कि sir basically they are selling plants. वो plants को bring home and convert it into a proper tree etc. Maybe I am the one who is doing that, but you are not understanding. You are putting very little effort. One thing, and second thing, I just told you something in favor of taxpayer. Never argue with them, because if it is in favor of taxpayer, it is always logical. Anything in favor of taxpayer is always logical. Okay, in our income tax law there is a tax benefit if you are a manufacturer. There was a person who was printing books, took that benefit. Manufacturer का benefit है, printer is taking benefit, ये क्या है? That printer argued in court, sir what is manufacture? There is an input, there will be a process, there will be output. Input, process, output. Input is paper, output is book. When input and output have different identities, it is manufacture. He won the case. They amended the law and said printing will be covered in the definition of manufacture. Favor of taxpayer, don't argue. You are chartered accountants, you are not assessing officer. Chartered accountant का धर्म is always to take side of taxpayer. Is that clear? Next. Supposingly there is a company doing, companies can also be in agriculture business, no? So one thing is clear, therefore company ka income is going to be exempt, because company is earning profits, revenue, land in India used for agriculture purposes. The question is not this. Employees are getting salary. The question is, this company is paying dividend to its Shareholders. Obviously from the profits that it has generated by performing. Is this agriculture? Let me explain the effect of your answer. If you say yes, which income are we talking about? The dividend received by shareholder of company in agriculture business. Dividend received by shareholder of company in agriculture business. If your answer is this dividend is also agriculture, the shareholder ka dividend will also be, come on, exempt. But if this dividend is not agriculture, so shareholder ka dividend will be taxable. So your answer whether this is agriculture or not agriculture is going to have a big effect. Think and answer. Is dividend received by shareholder agriculture? No. Unanimously, no one thinks it is agriculture. Okay, wait, let me confuse you purposely. This dividend is paid from which profit? The profit that the company has earned by doing. So company does agriculture, and that agriculture ka profit is being distributed to the shareholder in the form of dividend. You stick to your answer? You still say it is not agriculture? Now you say it is yes agriculture. You're changing your answer? क्यों? अबे ऐसा ही सर, अभी आपने बोला. I told you I am going to confuse you purposely. No, कुछ reason you have? Profit you have earned from agriculture. No argument about it. Company is certainly doing agriculture, and company ka profit 100% is exempt. Please. And accordingly, it should be agriculture. Okay, point taken. Basically, your argument is same as what I said. The profit was earned out of agriculture, and that profit is only being distributed. So this also should be agriculture. But still, most students in the class are saying, no, this is not agriculture. You have to give me a strong reason. You are saying not agriculture. From the individual point of view, it is income from other sources. It is not agricultural income to perform. And the taxable is for the taxable non-taxable thing is to pay the tax for the profit earned. The profit earned to the exempt year. Or for the individual point of view, I have to. Fantastic, very good. Matlab does not mean correct answer. I got the point that you're thinking logically at least. Okay, uske liye very good bola. Answer is right or wrong, let the suspense remain. But taxpayer point of view, the shareholders they are giving dividend, but not for agriculture. Both of the taxpayer will be there for. So right now I am asking from shareholder POV. POV, of course. Okay. Ji. Agricultural income income which is why you feel that it is not agriculture. Okay. एक last hint. ठीक है, बोलो. वो तो definition में लिखा है. वो definition. Then according to you, then it is you're changing your answer. You were saying agriculture since the beginning. Okay. ठीक है. You wanted to say something. क्या हुआ? तेरे साथ ऐसा बहुत होता है यार. I haven't forgotten my conversations with you. You remember? What's your name? Sorry, I forgot. Chirag. Chiran. What does that mean? So actual Chiranjeevi. Chirani. Out of all the things spoken, what he said, the other students also gave logical arguments, very logical. But what you said was, in my opinion, the most appropriate. Can you repeat? Because most of them did not take you seriously when you were speaking. The company is performing of the activities, not the shareholders. They are just earning the profits. सबसे important चीज what you said at the end. The company is performing of the activities. Shareholders are not performing that. नहीं, last में कुछ और बोला. You only forgot. Basic of class 12 आपका OC, SP, whichever subject, the identity of company and shareholders is different. Company is doing agriculture does not mean shareholder is doing agriculture. Shareholder is only making an investment. Once invested, is going home and going off to sleep. One day while asleep, he is getting his dividend in his bank account without engaging or interfering with any activity done by the company. Yay, if it was a partnership firm, please understand, then as a partner I am every day involved. Firm is doing agriculture is as good as partner himself is doing agriculture, because I am every day involved in the activities. But as a shareholder, I am not involved in the day-to-day activity, because ये basic of class 12 में wherever you were taught, अभी तो Companies Act also substantially you must have studied, that company is a separate legal entity. Company का agriculture does not mean shareholder का agriculture. It is only investment income. Hello. And thus, this is not agriculture, and therefore ब्रो तूने खुद ने लास्ट में बोला था कंपनी इज सेपरेट फ्रॉम शेयर होल्डर, देन यू फॉरगॉट. आई सेड लास्ट में. अच्छा ठीक. Is that clear? Understood the law and the reason behind the law? Fantastic. Now, supposingly there is a partnership firm or LLP doing agriculture. So this time again, ये firm का और LLP, their income is तो definitely exempt. Correct है? Okay. Now this firm or LLP will be paying to its partner. क्या? एक minute. Let me talk about that one thing which is more popular. Share of profit. Share of profit. Okay, wait. To hell with agriculture. Whether agriculture or non-agriculture. Supposingly partnership firm selling computer parts will pay tax on its profits. The share of profit of the partner is still going to be exempt, even if it is a non-agriculture business. When we did definition of person, at that time 100% I have told you this. Share of profit from HUF is exempt because on that amount HUF has already paid tax. Share of profit from partnership firm is exempt because on that amount firm has already paid tax. ये correct है? But company is a different legal entity, so dividend income पे that logic does not apply. So whether agriculture or not agriculture, we can't have discussion about share of profit. Without agriculture also share of profit for partner is always going to be exempt. मतलब सुनो, exempt income has officially started now. But before the official commencement, you were already aware of 3 incomes from exempt income. Agriculture, share of profit from HUF, and share of profit from partnership firm. But the discussion here is not about this share of profit. That is not the objective. The discussion is on something else. Everyone is with me? Hello? This firm, over and above the share of profit which will be paid to the partners in their PSR, will also be paying things like interest and remuneration to the partners. Interest for the funds given and remuneration for taking active participation in the day-to-day work. Some firms pay in the form of salary, bonus, commission, whatever name you give. It is money paid for work done. And interest is money paid for funds provided. Hello. Interest is money paid for funds provided and remuneration is money paid for work done. Does that make sense to you? Normal partnership firms mein this is taxable. Normal partnership firm mein this is taxable. Let me explain the simple logic of that. If this is the profit and loss account of a firm, will this last and final amount be the share of profit? On this amount is the firm paying tax, and therefore for the partner this amount is going to be always exempt whether the profit is from agriculture or from any other activity. Ye correct hai? But when we give interest to our partners, when we give remuneration to our partners, that is basically subtracted while calculating the taxable profit by considering it as an expense. And therefore, because the firm has reduced this amount from its taxable amount, these amounts are going to be always taxable for the partners. Share of profit is the only income which is exempt. The other receipts are taxable as partners. Hello? But this firm may, will it be taxable or no? Because this firm ka nature of business is probably going to change our decision. Share of profit mein our decision cannot change whether agriculture or no agriculture, it is always exempt. The discussion is about interest and remuneration. You are understanding exactly what discussion I am doing with you. The interest and remuneration that the partner is receiving from this firm, should we consider this agriculture because the firm is doing agriculture? If yes, so in other firms this is taxable, but here it will become exempt. But if no, so like other firms, this will also become taxable. Share of profit universally is going to remain exempt. So discussion is only about remuneration and interest. Is this agriculture? Somewhere while explaining the rationale, the logic behind shareholder ka answer, I actually have given you the answer to this. But only if you paid attention. Paid attention. Here they are involved, and therefore this is going to be considered as, and therefore this income is going to be exempt. समझ में आता है? सॉरी, आफ्टर टैक्स मतलब अच्छा दैट वे, हाँ, कंपनी का जो भी प्रॉफिट है उस पे कंपनी विल पे टैक्स एंड देन द रिमेनिंग अमाउंट सरप्लस फ्रॉम दैट दे विल बी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग डिविडेंड टू द शेयर होल्डर. Yes, now continue. Very good question. And I don't know whether you noticed or you heard, but while telling you about share of profit of partner and HUF, I just said it, but no problem, I will repeat it for you. Company and shareholders are separate legal entities. So company ka profit and shareholder ka profit is not the same profit. They are different people, and therefore we will tax the company, and then on the dividend we will tax the shareholder also. ये 12th में बेसिक्स में. बट पार्टनरशिप फर्म में एंड एचयूएफ में ऑल्सो वी वर टॉट जॉइंट एंड सेवरल लायबिलिटी, सेम ओनर्स, सेम मैनेजमेंट, एंड देयरफॉर एचयूएफ का प्रॉफिट इज सेम एज मेंबर का प्रॉफिट, या फर्म का प्रॉफिट इज सेम एज पार्टनर का प्रॉफिट. सो सेम प्रॉफिट कैन नॉट बी टैक्स्ड ट्वाइस. दैट वाज द रैशनल बिहाइंड सेपरेट. क्योंकि कैसा होगा, जस्ट इमेजिन यू मस्ट हैव अर्न्ड सम टैक्सेबल इनकम एट होम, उस पे टैक्स भरा. नाउ फ्रॉम दैट मनी यू मस्ट हैव पेड कोचिंग क्लास का फीस. तो देन व्हाई शुड द कोचिंग क्लास पे इनकम टैक्स अगेन? तो आपने तो टैक्स भर दी. कोचिंग क्लास विल पे द फैकल्टी प्रोफेशनल फीस. व्हाई शुड आई पे टैक्स? वी आर ऑल डिफरेंट पर्संस. मनी तो मार्केट में वही है ना, इट इज चेंजिंग हैंड्स. सो दे आर सेम पर्संस, इसलिए यहां पे एग्जेम्पशन है. कंपनी में दे आर डिफरेंट पर्सन, देयरफॉर डिविडेंड इज टैक्सेबल. एवरीवन क्लियर अबाउट दिस? जी. बट LLP in income tax law is completely treated same as normal firm. देखो, LLP has characteristic of company and firm. Company का only one characteristic that they have is limited liability. Otherwise, it is a partnership firm with only one feature from companies, that is limited liability. And thus, income tax treats LLP at par with firm. आप person का definition जाके देखो. तो where did they write LLP? Firm including LLP. Here also, firm including LLP. In the entire income tax law, the moment you come across the word firm, it will also include LLP. समझा? मितांश ना? I will come back to you in PGBP chapter in one of the sections. For now, क्या? अभी you will forget, but I will remember that PGBP में I have to come back to you. But बहुत टाइम के बाद में, maybe after 15-20 days I will come back to you. अभी के लिए firm equal to LLP, LLP equal to partnership firm, at least in income tax POB. Of course they are governed by separate laws, वो पता है, but in income tax there is an equal to sign between them. Subject to that one exception, I will come to you in PGBP. We will discuss it as a class together. Okay, everyone is with me? ये point clear हुआ? Okay, there is a concept called scheme of partial integration. नहीं 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 नहीं, डोंट गेट स्कैर्ड. आई नो सर, एक तो इतना मुश्किल से तो, हाँ हाँ हाँ, ये दिस इज नॉट दैट इंटीग्रेशन, डोंट वरी, दिस इज पार्शियल इंटीग्रेशन. दिस विल बी टॉट टू यू आफ्टर ब्रेक, नहीं, आफ्टर टैक्स रेट्स, ये बोला ना, आफ्टर टैक्स रेट्स. Right now, the only exempt income is rent of the landlord and sale of agricultural goods, the goods that you have grown through basic operations. Now, agricultural land ka sale is neither rent nor revenue from sale of agricultural products. It's a capital profit. Abhi it is taxable on the basis of whatever we have studied so far. Once we go to capital gain ka chapter, did I tell you some exempt ka sections are in the respective chapters? Capital gain के chapter में there is some exemption given on the basis of the land is urban agricultural land के rural agriculture. अभी rural area में है तो there is blanket exemption, never any tax. But urban area में है, as long as you sell it, you will have to pay tax. If it is forcibly taken by the government for development, metro, monorail, anything, that is called compulsory acquisition. उसमें there is an exemption given. So lots of permutations. We will talk about it at that time. Right now, what is the answer? Taxable. क्योंकि it is neither rent nor revenue. Clear? चलो. हाँ. That is not basic operations performed on land. समझा? तो वो इसमें कवर्ड नहीं. ओके. हाँ. देखो, I would have said break, but then if people are asking doubts, तभी I have to answer. वो I can't tell you that I will answer after. और भी ये मत करना कि ठीक है सर, give break to everyone and I will come and ask you doubt. So if it is break for you, it is break for me also. हाँ, you have doubts, you come before class. I have a habit of coming 15 minutes, 20 minutes before time. You stay back after class, just like you. I also have nothing to do, एकदम free in life. तो हम लोग बैठ के we can have long discussions on the subject taxation without disturbing classroom timing. Okay. हाँ, there is a concept called partial integration. Short में I will tell you, because unless and until we do tax rates in detail, have I taught you tax rates? No, bro. I gave you only a rough idea. Okay. Supposingly there is someone who has got huge amount of agriculture income, 10 crore, 100 crore, 200 crore. Some rich farmers of the states of Punjab and Haryana, because of the favorable geography, with that 200 crore का profit also they are not paying any income tax. क्यों? Because agriculture का section has not given any limit of exemption, any amount fully exempt. And apart from that 200 crore का agriculture, they have some 10 lakh rupees का other income, you know, rent, business, some other income. And I also have 10 lakh ka income. Do you realize that our taxable income is same? 10 lakh, 10 lakh, that 200 crore is exempt for the farmer. So that is slightly unfair for me. While taxable income number wise 10 lakh hai for both, but you still have 200 crore ka exempt income. Government also is not very happy about it, but they can't tax agriculture. Constitutionally, it is not possible. So what they will do is that farmer ka taxable 10 lakh will remain 10 lakh only, but we will increase the rate of tax. We will not start with 5% or 20%. We will directly take you to higher rate. If you have agriculture income, your non-agriculture income will be taxed at higher rate. Only non-agriculture, because agriculture they can't tax. They can't tax. वो है scheme of partial integration. Only when you have detailed knowledge of tax calculation, you will be able to understand this. And the last point about this, the concept of composite income, where you have done A plus B. You have done an activity which comprises of some agricultural operations and some business operations. Sir, क्या बोल रहे हैं? You have grown a product in the farm, taken that product to a factory, and used that as a raw material for another product. And this factory ka product you sell in the market. So profit will come from this product. But do you understand that some portion of this profit can also be a portion to the activity done here? This one composite profit which contains these and these operations, we will have to split into agriculture and business, A plus B, because the agriculture part, now I will be insulting you if I discuss the aap hi bol do. The agriculture part of the total amount will be exempt and the business part out of the total amount will be taxable. To give you a couple of examples, you should know this. Sugar cane is a farm product. They are literally known as ganne ka khet. But then that sugar cane grown in farms is taken to factories. Sugar is a factory product. So when you are selling sugar, the profit that you earn is a little from agriculture activities, little from business activity. We have to segregate, split it into these two parts. You are understanding? Acha, wait. Supposingly I am the farmer growing sugarcane and I sell sugarcane to the factory owner who is a different person. So fully agriculture, fully exempt. And that factory ka owner, full business, full taxable. But if I am performing both activities, then only this concept will arise. Are you following? Supposingly I am growing tea leaves. Tea ka plantation hota hai Assam, Darjeeling. And selling them. Full agriculture, full exempt. I purchase tea leaves from a farmer and make that black color ka tea powder. Fully taxable. But if I am only having the plantation and I am only manufacturing the tea powder, so composite income hai na, we have to segregate into agriculture and taxable. Do you understand? One last example. You know, rubber ka bhi plantations hai. But rubber as a product can be used to make hundreds of rubber band to tie your currency notes. Yeah, aapka tires are made of rubber. MRF is Madras Rubber Factory. MRF does not make bats. पता है, very good. तो वो रबर का टायर, योर इरेजर नहीं यूज करो, मैच्योर्ड पीपल. अरे इरेजर ना, इट इज मेड ऑफ रबर. एंडलेस प्रोडक्ट्स. यू अंडरस्टैंड? अभी यहाँ पे एग्जाम्पल में आई राइट इरेजर और एग्जाम्पल में आई राइट टायर. व्हाट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड इज, if I am only having the plantation agriculture है तो fully exempt. If I am having only a factory, then business, fully taxable. But if I have rubber plantations and I transport the rubber so grown to my factory and then in the factory I am manufacturing these products, then it is composite income. The total profit that we have earned out of both activities will be one consolidated figure. Do you agree? This total profit we will have to split into how much of this total profit is agriculture and how much of this total profit is business. For obvious reasons, the agriculture part of it is going to be exempt and the business part of it is going to be taxable. ये समझा क्या everyone? Okay, fantastic. 10 minutes का break we will take and after the break we will continue. How to do this वो अभी बताएं नहीं. After the break we will continue. All right, welcome back everyone. We are doing break के बाद full recap is required. CA, inter, tax, direct tax, exempt income. Section 10(1) agriculture income, rent or revenue from land in India used for agricultural purposes is going to be considered as agriculture income. Exempt. Agriculture income का last part is going on. Last part of agriculture income is the concept of composite income, where the same assessee has performed both activities. Both matlab the agriculture as well as the factory activities. I want to make it clear one more time. If you have performed only agriculture, exempt. Only factory activity, taxable. When the same person has done both activities, then it is composite income. And the total profit so earned from that activity has to be split into exempt income and taxable income. Now we are now with a question. What? We have to answer this what wala question. What are we supposed to do? Composite income ko we have to split into Agriculture and business. This is the what wala thing. What matlab what do we have to do? But the moment we know our what wala question, the next question is how to do it. Khali what say we can't solve our problem. No, how is the more important answer. How to split total profit into kya bro? Agriculture and business. This is given in income tax rules. Income tax act mein nahi. This is given where? Income tax rules. And hello, this is different from the sections, the income tax act that we are learning. We will have to, for the next few minutes, go off topic. Off topic does not mean we will discuss latest movies kya hua hai, ke chalo mase gaao. नहीं, अंताक्षरी इधर ही we are not going to start. That can't be done during class hours. Everything other activity post class hour. Class के अंदर we can't be wasting time because there will always be some who will not like it. So we don't want to get into that nonsense. जो भी करना है we'll do it separately. So either off topic does not mean we are discussing things beyond or other than income tax. Correct है? But income tax act को छोड़ के we will have to go to something called income tax rules. And for this, you need to first understand what are income tax rules. We are aware of something called the Income Tax Act. 1961 is what we are learning. 2025 का Income Tax Act will be first taught to May 2027 students. But then, what are income tax rules? The act will always tell you what to do. What to do matlab split your composite income into agriculture and business. But the rules will tell us how to do. The act, the sections, the amendments, they are all enacted by the parliament. Obviously, government brings proposals and opposition only opposes, but with majority they are able to pass all their proposals. But parliament ka job is only to enact the law. The day-to-day implementation cannot be taken care of by the parliament. Just imagine, Income Tax Act, 500 sections, and then they are counting members of parliament, how many? Oh Modi ji, section 1 you take care across the country. So section 2 Mota Bhai will take care across the country. ऐसा नहीं होगा. Their job is to create the section, not implement or bring the sections into force or take day-to-day care of the sections. For that, there is an organization called CBDT. For those interested in knowing the full form, this is the central. बस इतना पता. कैसे पता? You must have studied CBIC, Central Board of Indirect Tax and Customs. नहीं, you know general knowledge say you know CBDT. But for those who don't, because not everyone is equal. Central Board of Direct Taxes. अच्छा, fantastic. Other than the full form, बस नहीं confirm करना था. Other than full form also, do you know something? नहीं? Okay. CA final में when we have a direct tax का batch and when about 1/3 of the syllabus is complete, when 1/3 of the syllabus is complete, we have a chapter called Income Tax Authorities and Their Powers. That chapter teaches us about the income tax department. That senior most officer is Chief Commissioner of Income Tax. There is a hierarchy: Chief Commissioner, Commissioner, Additional Commissioner, Joint Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner, Assistant Commissioner, ITO. There are junior level officers also. But above the CCIT, above the senior most officer, is an organization called CBDT. To keep it simple for intermediate students who don't have to get into complications, CBDT is the father, papa, daddy, abbu, abba, pops, ATM of the income tax department. CBDT ka every instruction has to be followed, complied by every income tax authority. Every officer from top to bottom is under the control of CBDT. Once CBDT comes up with an instruction, order, circular, notification, every IT authority has to comply. They cannot protest. If they do, sorry for the offensive language, if an IT authority, if an income tax officer from top to bottom goes against CBDT, all you as a taxpayer have to tell him, for your father actually has given this instruction, you can't go against your own father. No, I was going to say, let's not speak offensive things in the classroom. See, for example, Abhi, let us talk about something as recent as last month. There was due date of filing tax audit reports 30th of September. It was extended to 31st October after lot of protests from chartered accountants. Due date was extended. The extension is done by CBDT. It is not the role of government of India to extend the due date. So all the court petitions were filed against CBDT because the power to extend due date is with CBDT. With pressure, CBDT extended the due date by 1 month. Now please pay attention. We are in the month of October. Due date, which is officially September, has been extended to October. Now supposingly today in the first week of October, second week of October, somebody is filing a tax audit report. Will it be considered as on time or late? Sir, but due date is September. Extended. Officer is saying CBDT bola to kya hua? I will not allow. Nahi, that is when you tell the officer. Your father said so. Dekho, English is not sophisticated. Just your father said so. Just you translate in Hindi and it is offensive. You understand? So English mein, your father said so. You can't go against your father. Abhi aap ye mat bolna, sir. In our generation, it is the other way around. But Income Tax Act, abhi 1961 ka law hai, so in that one CBDT says something, all officers have to comply. So the day-to-day enforcement of the income tax law will be taken care of by CBDT. For example, let me give you one more. I'll come to the composite income wala part. Another example is, in the PGBP chapter, there is a rule that when your turnover in business crosses a certain amount, you need to get an audit report from a chartered accountant. We call it tax audit. That same due date got extended from September to October. Tax audit is compulsory based on turnover. Are you with me? Yes. Act mein they wrote tax audit is compulsory. Full stop. After this much turnover. Sir, but how to do that audit? In that audit report, what will be the format of the report? That audit report will be filed online, offline, hybrid. Kuch answer to do. That is not the role of parliament. That CBDT has decided. What will be the content of the audit report? Every year they modify the audit report. Audit report will be online or offline. The implementation is the role of CBDT. How ka answer will be given by CBDT? By doing what? Making income tax rules. Who makes the Income Tax Act? Act, Parliament, and rules are framed by CBDT. Act will tell you what to do. Rules will tell you how to do. Act has told us if you have composite income, segregate. And we also know the reason why we want to do that. How to do it? It is given in rules by CBDT. This is where you will get knowledge of rules. What are rules? And of course, we will learn that rule which divides composite income into two parts. Hello? One last thing before we come to the rule which is applicable to composite income. One last thing. If there is ever a contradiction between the act and the rules, if there is a mismatch, what do you think should prevail? Act ke rules? Common sense. Common sense says who has created the act and who has created the rules, and who do you think between parliament and CBDT is superior? Kya lagta? And accordingly, in case of, I would like to avoid any confusion, the act will always be considered as the main legislation and the rules will always be considered as the subordinate legislation. In case there is ever any contradiction. Generally, you may not see one, but if there is any contradiction, the act will override the rules. Samjha? So now coming back to the concept that we were doing. Composite income. What do we have to do to composite income? Split kar. How to do is given where? In the rules. So, income tax rules as framed by CBDT. Correct hai? How to split composite income into agriculture and business is given in rule number 7. So, When an act is enacted by the parliament, the act is divided into parts called sections, but rules framed by CBDT will be rule 1, rule 2, rule 3, rule 4. In rule number 7, they have given kya? How to split composite income into एग्रीकल्चर एंड बिजनेस, करेक्ट है? हियर इज द रूल कुछ ऐसा है, दे से द फेयर मार्केट वैल्यू. हैव यू हर्ड दिस टर्म बिफोर? एफएमवी. You are comfortable with this short form? If not, write the full term. First time hai fair market value. Hereafter, in every chapter, you can write FMV once you know the full form. Fair market value, market price. The fair market value of the product, the fair market value of the product that was transferred from the farm to the factory will be considered as selling price in agriculture and cost price in business. The fair market value of the product that was transferred from the farm to the factory will be considered as selling price in agriculture and cost price in business. अरे वो copycat. You really think just by blindly copying this is going to make you understand concepts? अभी बोलू if I have your permission. May I? Ignore what is written. Just like you ignore a lot of people around you. Ignore what is written. Okay. Let us take an example. I am growing sugarcane. Where? Obviously in the farm. So in the farm, will I be having some cultivation cost? Farm ka cost? Cultivation cost of which product? Sugarcane. Supposingly, the cultivation cost of sugarcane was 8 lakh rupees. I have an option to sell this sugarcane the moment it is grown. Say I sell it for 10 lakh. The 2 lakh so earned is completely and exclusively agriculture income and fully exempt. But I decide not to sell it. I transport this sugarcane from farm to factory to convert this sugarcane into a product called sugar. Obviously, do you agree that now I will have some additional manufacturing cost in the factory? Can I call it the factory cost? Say factory mein I have incurred additional 7 lakh rupees. क्या हुआ? फैक्ट्री का कम नहीं हो सकता है. इज दैट एग्जाम्पल है ब्रो. पागल, गिव हिम मेडिसिन. पागल हो गए. व्हाट इज रॉन्ग विथ यू? समथिंग इज रॉन्ग विथ मी. प्रॉब्लम क्या है? Who laugh without reason suddenly out of nowhere? He. इसका इंटरनल प्रॉब्लम है. You guys sitting around him must be knowing होगा कुछ याद आया. Everyone, focus करो please. What is the cost that you have incurred in the farm? 8 lakh. Then you transported that to the factory and you incurred additional cost in the factory of converting the sugar cane to sugar, 7 lakh. Now your sugar cane is gone. You are left with sugar which you have sold in the market at 25 lakh rupees. इस पे भी हंस ले. 25 lakh rupees. Everyone is with me? Okay. Let us first calculate the total profit. How much is the total profit? Selling price of 25 minus factory cost of 8 and farm cost of 8 and factory cost of 7. 10 lakh is the total profit. And what are we supposed to do? Split this 10 lakh into agriculture and business. Here comes the most important amount in this entire story. When your farm activity was complete, you were left with a product called sugarcane. And you had an option to sell that sugarcane in the market. वो option था. You did have that option. You could have sold that sugarcane at a market price of 10 lakh. And you would have earned only a profit of 2. Whether to do this extra process or not do this extra process is a choice. You have a chapter in costing, joint products and byproducts. Ho gaya? So to sell the product at split off point and earn profit of 2 lakh is one option, or do the extra process. The additional cost of doing the extra process is 7 lakh and the additional revenue of this extra process is 15 lakh. 15 kaisa hai? 10 becoming 25. If the additional revenue exceeds the additional cost, we recommend further processing and not selling at split off. Wahi chapter. I hope you are not wondering how I know this. CA hai bro. The chartered accountant knows everything. You also know everything. So, ठीक है, I know it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we suggest the extra process, and therefore, do you agree that we have foregone this 10 lakh? Why? Because when we decided to manufacture sugar, we have decided to lose this 10 lakh. Because if we get this 10 lakh, we will never get our sugar. The choice was sell sugarcane or make sugar. So here, rule 7 says, you close your eyes, not you. You close your eyes and imagine that 10 lakh pe that sugarcane was sold in the market. And therefore, 10 minus the cultivation cost here, 2 is your agriculture ka profit. But then you again repurchase that sugarcane because you need it as raw material for sugar. That means you repurchase it at the same market price. So that same market price of 10 lakh at the time of transfer, here we considered it as selling price, here we will consider it as cost. So what is selling price in business? 25 minus business ka manufacturing cost is 7, but that FMV which we have lost as an opportunity cost. Why have we lost that? See, there are 2 ways in which you can understand. One way is I have sold the sugarcane and repurchased the sugarcane for the factory at that 10 lakh ka price. Sell at 10 lakh, buy at 10 lakh. Option 2, I have lost 10 lakh ka sales because I decided to manufacture sugar and therefore that becomes my opportunity cost. This will give you profit of 8 lakh. That means you have successfully split your 10 lakh into business profit and agriculture ka profit, where this FMV is going to play the most important role. It's a double role. In agriculture, we are going to take it as selling price, and in business, we are going to take it as cost price. Selling price in agriculture and cost price in business. Abhi ek kaam karo. Now read what is written in rule number 7. Now see if you understand what is it. What happened, bro? करता हूं ना, एक मिनट, डाउट नहीं. Are you understanding the rule? कुछ मिस्टेक किया? At the time of transfer ना, जिस दिन शुगर बेचा उस दिन you can't take sugar cane का FMP. एक मिनट, if this is confusing you, सुन, ऐसा मत कर. Do this. You understand? Transfer ka fair market value was 10 lakh. This 10 lakh will play double role. In the agriculture business, this amount will be considered as selling price, and in the factory activity, this amount will be considered as cost price. अभी समझा double rule? The fair market value of the product which was transferred from farm to factory will play the double rule. Clear हुआ? Everyone comfortable now? Whatever, no, fair market value भी आपको. Does this rule sound logical? मतलब you have to just imagine that farm का product we have sold and repurchased for factory, and thus that fair market value, which we are not actually doing, but we are assuming that we have sold and repurchased, and use that amount to do that double role: selling price in business, selling price in agriculture, and cost price in business. Does this rule sound logical? Does it make sense? This is the best way in which the answer could have come. Our objective, where did we start? We have a composite profit where the assessee has performed agriculture as well as business activity. Our task was to split that profit into agriculture and business. For that, we have taken the fair market value at the time of transfer. That fair market value is playing double role, and with which have we successfully answered what we wanted to. While the rule sounds logical, this rule is going to bring controversies, huge controversies, litigation समझते, court battles between taxpayers and tax department. How? Use your brain. Use your brain. You are an intelligent bunch of people. Please tell me how this rule, which sounds heavily logical, makes sense, but it is going to result in litigation.
It's not a fixed price, so it can be changed.
Same answer? Very easy answer. How to decide that fair market value? If I am the taxpayer, I'll do what? Sir, वो fair market value उस time पे it was not 10 lakh, it was 1 crore. So I will show massive profit here. I will show massive profit here. In fact, let this become a loss. No, I will take set off against other profits. Assessee, if you understand this one line, I will go ahead. Assessee will always try to show higher fair market value, and officer will always try to take lower fair market value for obvious reasons. If you have understood, I will go ahead. Nahi to I will explain with numbers. Understood? There will always be a debate as to what is the market price of that product the day it was transferred. There is no concrete answer to that. While it sounds logical, it is a little, not practical to implement. And thus, for some industries, some businesses, our government has identified a better way. Our government has declared a notional way of splitting composite income into agriculture and business. Notional means illogical, random, हवा में, without any brain. Is this logical? No, sir. Will it be practical? Will it solve the problem? Yes, sir. The only logic behind a notional calculation is that it will reduce litigation and it will simplify calculations. I'll take one example. Supposingly, you are in the business of growing and manufacturing tea. So you are having the plantation and you are only making the tea powder in the factory. See, one thing that you already know is only plantation is fully exempt, only factory is fully taxable. When I do both activities, composite hai. Government has given a blanket classification saying any profit earned from tea business will be 60% considered as agriculture, 40% considered as business. So if you earn 1 lakh, pay tax on 40,000. If you earn 10 lakh, pay tax on 4 lakh. Don't get into the litigation or controversy of what was the fair market value. It sounds logical, but it is not practical. Just pick up your composite profit, pay tax on 40%. Sir, what is logic behind 60-40? It is going to simplify calculation is the only logic. Otherwise, it is random, illogical, no logic. And not just here, but multiple places in your syllabus in the income tax law, they have adopted notional basis to reduce litigation. It does not have logic. It will only make calculations easy. You don't have to sit and find out fair market value. Just pick up the composite profit and apply the percentage. And one feature of notional basis that you will see all throughout, you can observe now also, it is always taxpayer friendly. Why do I say that confidently? So they are exempting the bigger portion, taxing only 40%. Do you understand? They will always make it favorable for the taxpayer. And when it is favorable for you, you will not go and protest against this. Calculation will become easy, taxpayer friendly. Now, if your doubt is, sir, but they are suffering loss, you are not understanding. If they go into the fight of what will be the FMV, the amount of cost that will be incurred, time, energy that will be taken to fight that court case, they are like 40%. If you are voluntarily declaring and paying tax on that, our problem is solved. Voluntary compliance ho jayega. They don't have to force compliance. They are happy with that. Samjha kya? And ladies and gentlemen, this they have done only for 3 industries. So, this general rule, Rule 7 is not going anywhere. For example, sugarcane ka business hai, you have to follow this only. Supposingly you're growing tomatoes and then with that tomato, ketchup, composite income, you have to follow this rule. Fair market value. They have given notional basis only for 3 industries. Ek tea industry, second is rubber industry. Rubber ka discussion we did. It can be used for tire, eraser, cricket ka ball. When I was a child, वो red color का एक cricket का ball. अभी we have grown up तो क्या tennis ball से cricket. We are Indians, we play cricket with tennis balls. And it was a rubber ball, but for no reason we used to call it rubber. Even today, पता नहीं क्यों, but well, there is no logic, but we used to. Same था, same generation. So whether rubber balls or erasers or rubber bands or tires, 35% is going to be taxable. 65% will be exempt. Major portion is exempt. Major portion is exempt. So taxpayer is very happy and it is solving the problem. And we also do not need to get into the fight, the litigation about fair market value. So tea business mein 60-40, rubber business 65-35. And let's talk about coffee. Coffee mein they have kept 2 subparts. One option is coffee which is grown and cured. Coffee beans hota hai. Tea mein we call it tea leaves or coffee. Of course you all know it. Major activity is agriculture. So only 25% will be taxable. But coffee as a product, after grown and cured, there is some extra R&D that you can do with it. And a lot of coffee shops, a lot of cafes, they do this. There is something called roasted coffee. Alag flavor, alag taste. They call it grounded coffee. In fact, some questions ICAI uses the term grinded coffee. So sometimes they call it grounded, sometimes they call it grinded. Sometimes coffee is mixed with flavors. Hazelnut, walnut flavor, strawberry flavor ka, mint flavor ka. We do experiment with everything. Aata hai, you don't drink it, that does not mean it is not available in the market. There is mint flavor ka coffee available in the market. They are actually literally discussing with each other. वो country भी इनका आता है, वो ऐसा इस box में. They are actually what is going on? Income tax चल रहा है इधर. Can you believe that people are actually discussing with each other brands and varieties of coffee? अलग ही ठगलाई सुनो. The moment you do these additional flavors mixing etc, whether walnut coffee, hazelnut coffee, mint flavor के, chocolate flavor के, strawberry flavor का coffee, point ये है that you are increasing the factory activity. Do you agree with that? And in that case we will go for 60-40. Now what you have to be careful in exam is that you have to search for any one of these three. If the exam question is only saying coffee grown, so you will follow 75-25. Grown and cured, full stop, 75-25. But the moment they say grown, cured and roasted, 60-40. Coffee grounded or grinded, only this much given, 60-40. So your target is to search for these words in the question. Any one of them used, you shift to 60-40. ये clear है? Hello? Everyone? But that's it, full stop. Only three industries. So sugar cane mein, even today you will have to follow fair market value. Tomato and ketchup mein, you will still have to follow fair market value. There is logic behind this also, that practically government observed that these are those three businesses where most people are doing composite activities. It was observed that the farmer growing sugar cane does not have sugar factories. They are different people. Composite activity nahi. Tomato ka farmer and ketchup ka company are different. Just because it is Kisan does not mean wohi farmer. They are different. Practically it was observed that assessees doing composite activities fall in these three business more than 90% cases. So they decided it is relevant to eliminate controversy here. They gave notional basis for these industries. For the remaining industries, you will have to follow. The general rule does not go anywhere. You will have to follow this. This is only specific to three industries. And I say it one more time, there are two features of notional basis. It will come in multiple chapters. Feature number one, it will solve the problem, remove litigation, though it is not logical. The only logic is removal of litigation. And feature number two, it is always in all the chapters going to be favorable to the taxpayer, so that taxpayer does not raise any objection. Litigation elimination was the main target, no? So it is always going to be favorable to taxpayer. If any one of these three, you see, if they say coffee, that means they are talking about agriculture. Otherwise, they will specifically mention only factory activity. Okay, and uska answer to we know. Correct? That, ladies and gentlemen, finally completes first clause of section 10.1. But this was the biggest. Ye size ka we have only one more clause, 10.10D life insurance ka company gives us money. Only that is big. Otherwise, all other clauses are very, very small. For example, section 10.2, lol. You already know this. I'll say share of profit received by member from HUF is going to be fully exempt. Clause over. Khatam. Suno, not all clauses are as big as 10.1. And this, I think, we were already aware. Right from the time we studied definition of person. ये तो पता था sir. We already know this. हो गया. Next, section 10, clause 2A. Again, not a part of my role or job, but if you have studied law, you should know this, that if there is clause 2 and if there is clause 2A, they are not same. They are as different as clause 2 and 3. If there is section 10 and there is section 10AA, they are not same. Section 10AA is a section between section 10 and section 11. You should know this even when you know basics of any law. But in case you don't, are we clear? 10.2 and 10.2A are not same. You know this also. Guess karna. रेम्यूनरेशन टैक्सेबल है. What is exempt? Share of profit is exempt. Share of profit received by, guess कर, partner from firm or LLP. Correct है. Same thing. क्या? Fully exempt. And what is the logic behind both clauses here? The HUF and the firm respectively have already paid tax. तो कंपनी में ऐसा क्यों नहीं? बिकॉज सेपरेट लीगल एंटिटी. करेक्ट है. Section 10(4). This we have not studied before. If you are done with the previous two, fast तो नहीं किया ना? 10(4). Shall we? Interest income that you earn on NRE account. Interest income on NRE account. NRE stands for extraordinary. कुछ भी ब्लफ, कुछ भी फेंको बस. Non-resident external account. It's a bank account. Bank account will generate interest. You all know NRE, NRO. FEMA में हो गया है. Fantastic. अभी you will tell me what is NRE, NRO. हो गया ना? Sir, after today we will never tell you because see, अभी I will teach you tax treatment of amalgamation. Sir, नहीं हुआ. After today you have to say no for everything. आज तो you will have to tell me what is NRE, NRO. Indian.
Returning to India, also the foreign currency, if he wants to store, he can store it in this account and he cannot convert it into Indian rupee.
शायद. Sir, शायद I am giving May 26. NRO versus NRE is what I wanted you to tell me.
Non-resident earning foreign income will be going into this account and non-resident earning income in India will go into NRO.
This explains the logic behind the tax exemption. Before we go into the tax exemption here, quickly tell me, non-resident can have Indian income and foreign income. Which one of them is taxable? Indian, foreign, none के both. Which one is taxable? Non-resident है ना? Which one is taxable? Indian income. मतलब foreign income not taxable. Correct है? Now you are an Indian who has gone abroad, is earning foreign money, permanently staying there. So you are non-resident. Foreign income not taxable, not taxable, not taxable. Over 10, 15, 20 years, you will accumulate wealth out there. One fine day, you will want to relocate to India. When you bring such a big amount back to India, that government may probably create problems for you to repatriate those funds. Some governments are cooperative, but not all. So government of India wanted to provide a facility to those non-residents staying abroad with a little chance of returning to India. That the day you want to come back to India, you should be having some of your funds here itself. So do one thing, when you earn your foreign income, instead of saving it, accumulating it there, start accumulating in an Indian bank account, for which we will create a special account called non-resident external account, only to store your foreign money, so that together you don't have to bring such a big amount. But then we have studied a rule. Kya? Yeah, the Indian income is, any income received in India also is Indian income. That will become taxable. Don't worry, it will be only for your foreign income. For your Indian income, we will have a separate bank account. That is non-resident ordinary account. Supposingly you are buying anything from a non-resident, you're buying shares, property, paying rent, so you have to transfer money in their NRO account, and only their foreign incomes will come in NRE account. Matlab, I think you all understand this much. Non-resident will have two accounts, NRO and NRE. NRO के अंदर they will have their Indian incomes, and NRO में they will have their foreign incomes. Correct? Eh? That means these are those incomes which are not taxable. These are the incomes which are taxable. If this income is taxable, the interest that you are earning here also will be taxable. Bolo yes or no? अब जाके read करो ना what we have written in the heading. What is exempt? Interest on NRE account. Is this income that is deposited here tax free? Because non-resident foreign income, and therefore interest also exempt. Section 10(4). Because even when the income that is getting deposited is foreign, the interest is being paid by an Indian bank, no? So being Indian income, it is probably coming in scope of total income. We don't want any problem for the non-resident. We make it clear the interest so earned is going to be exempt. Understood? मतलब NRO account में everything is going to be taxable. NRE में the incomes are also exempt and the interest is also exempt. Now are we clear about the heading? Interest earned on NRE account is going to be exempt. However, the interest that you are earning here, which is exempt, will be exempt only and only if matlab condition, if you fulfill the following condition. First, you are a resident outside India as per FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act. Just like we have residential status in income tax, there is residential status in FEMA. Tax का sir knows income tax का residential status, law का sir knows FEMA का residential status. You guys have to know. वो ऐसा ही है सर, so unfair no. अब जो है वो है. As students, or both teachers are qualified chartered accountants. As students, they studied both. Bad luck है. You have to know. उसमें भी, if I am not wrong, there is some similarity, some difference. 182 days का condition they have there also. ठीक है, ठीक है. So here we are talking about residential status as per FEMA. Alternatively, देखो, सुन आराम. You can't go to इधर नीचे Bank of Baroda and tell them मेरा एक NRE account खोल के दो. Not everyone is permitted to do so. You are permitted to open NRE account only if, as per FEMA, you are resident outside India, or matlab the conditions are not cumulative. You have to fulfill any one of them. Or second option is you have been permitted by RBI to open such account. Permitted by RBI to open such account. Clear hai? If you fulfill any one of the two conditions, you will open the account, then you will deposit your foreign incomes, they are exempt, and then the interest also is going to be exempt. Everyone is clear on this? Fantastic. That was your 10(4). So one by one we are doing the clauses. Now as we are doing the clauses, do you also realize there is no interrelation between 10(1) and 10(2) or 10(2) or 10(4), which is why they are called clauses. If there was any relation or connection, then we will call them subsections. That's the difference between clauses and subsections. But let's go ahead. 10(5) will come in salary ka chapter. So we will go to the next one, that is section 10(6). Tax exemption for non-citizens. Foreign nationals, people who are not citizens of India, people who are citizens of foreign countries are eligible for some tax exemptions. This is section 10 clause 6. This has got sub clauses. The drafting of the section is like this. At the top they have written section 10, Then they have written 1 agriculture income, 2 HUF, 2A share of profit from partnership firm. So gradually we come to clause 6. So now we are in 10.6. Under 10.6 there is clause 1. So we call it section 10, clause 6, subclause 1. Deleted. There is clause 2. Section 10, clause 6, subclause 2 is there in our syllabus. We'll discuss it. 3 is not there, 4 is that. There are some subclauses which are there, some subclauses which are deleted. You have to learn only the ones which are there in the act now. Deleted ones, obviously, we don't have to study. So instead of going into subclause number, sir, this is subclause 2 or subclause 4, bro, just do them A, B, C, D karke. That following are exemptions for non-citizens. And if your reaction to this is, sir, so we don't have to learn the subclause number, bro, you first learn the clause number. वो छोड़ना, you first learn the, you know, in exam you say exempt under section 10, that much is also enough. You just say exempt income, no, that much is enough. Shocking statement hai. I don't know whether I have said this now before. When a CA final student comes and asks me, sir, do I have to learn section numbers? I say it is okay to not learn section numbers even at CA final. Not writing section number is okay, but wrong section number is absolutely not acceptable. You don't remember? Write as per Income Tax Act, write as per income tax, as per provisions of the act, as per the act. Don't bluff. Not writing is okay, wrong writing is not okay. I tell this to CA final students also. General rule. Obviously, if I do a chapter like PGBP or capital gains, PGBP is 15 marks, capital gains is 10 marks. 50% of my exam weightage to those two chapters. In fact, content wise also, PGBP and capital gain will go to at least, if 3 hours ka class chalega, to minimum 8 classes. 160 hours ke batch mein, about 50 hours jointly PGBP and capital gain will take. Because weightage also and size also. So there you will have to learn section numbers. Okay, that much common sense you guys also have. But where it is not, it is okay, matlab not required. Don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself. And if you are unable to judge which chapter to learn, not to learn, come and ask me, I will tell you. Here I am telling you, as far as and as long as you know section 10 clause 6, that is also good enough. So please focus. Section 10 clause 6 mein there are multiple clauses, sub clauses, where that way there is nothing common between them except one thing, that is they are all related to non-citizens, people who are citizens of foreign countries. If you are employee, if I write double E as the short form for employee and ER as the short form for employer, will you be comfortable? Because when we do income from salary, throughout the chapter we will do this, ER for employer and EE for employee. If you are employee of an embassy, consulate, etc. देखो, different countries have given different names. Some countries call them embassy, some countries call them consulate, some countries call them high commission. There are employees working in those embassy. You are an employee of an embassy. That embassy is of a foreign country. But you are working in the Indian office. Is that possible? India mein we have embassy of every country. I think there are a couple of embassies right opposite your college. अच्छा जाते ही नहीं. Correct. है ना? कौन सा श्रीलंका का है? नहीं. अच्छा forget it. जो भी होगा. यूएस इज बीकेसी में कॉलेज है आपका? नहीं, दैट वे इंडिया में वी हैव एम्बेसी ऑफ एवरी कंट्री. You know what is the role of embassy? You want to travel to a foreign country, they will sanction your visa. पता है ना? हाँ. तो are there employees working in those embassies? Do you understand they are employees of that foreign government? Let us take an example. India में Singapore embassy है या Malaysian embassy है, तो the employees working there are employees of Singapore government. But while they are employees of Singapore government, where are they staying? What is their place of residence? Where do they live? In India, that also full year. Are they residents? 182 days may you become resident. Are they residents? Yes. Where are they working and earning? India. Is that income Indian income? Fantastic. This is resident Indian income. To hell with your nationality. You are a resident once you spend 182 days, and the income also is Indian income. As per scope of total income, is that salary taxable in India? Bro, this is the obvious wala case. You know that chapter we did for resident foreign income and non-resident Indian income. This is a case of resident and Indian income, because staying also in India and earning also in India. Is that income taxable in India as per scope of total income? But we are going to grant you exemption of tax on the salary that you are earning if you fulfill the following two conditions. मतलब embassy employees of foreign countries का salary earned in India will be exempt from tax. But it's not a blanket exemption. In order to get this exemption, come on, you will have to fulfill conditions. Do you understand? What are the conditions? Condition 1, you should not be engaged in any other trade or profession in India. What is your source of livelihood? Your नहीं, इसका पूछ रहा हूँ. Salary from the embassy where you are working, that should be your only source. Do not engage in any other trade or profession. Of course, you will be having a doubt, sir. वैसे भी he is full time working with the embassy now. How can he have other source? Possible है कि नहीं? We can pay is giving financial management का tuitions. अरे tax and law are specific to India. Indian income tax, Indian laws. Financial management का concepts, capital budgeting, cost of capital, capital structure. Financial management हुआ है कि नहीं? They are same across the world. Okay, concepts don't change. Costing का concepts, marginal costing, standard costing are globally same. So he can give tuitions on costing and FM in the weekend. Not allowed. मतलब listen, you understand please. When we say not allowed, does not mean that you give private tuitions in the weekend, so you'll go to jail. You do, but you will lose exemption on salary. That means the salary will become taxable. The condition is not for your employment. The condition is for tax exemption. समझा? And मतलब cumulative. Fulfill both conditions, then only your salary will be exempt. Condition 1, do not indulge in any other trade or profession. And condition 2, I'll give you one hint. I want you to guess this. One hint. To maintain good relations, two people have to shake hands with each other. I can't maintain good relations like this. I can maintain good relation only like this. हाथ मिला ना ब्रो, कोई कोविड थोड़ी हुआ मेरे को. अभी गैस कर, ये हिंट था. सॉरी ना, नहीं. We have tax treaty with China and Pakistan also. That conflict is land का conflict. Financially we cooperate with each other. Just in case. नहीं. Second condition, I am asking you to guess, and for which I have given you a hint. नहीं.
That country is also that Indian
Citizens. If your employees are working in your embassy in my country, so there is an Indian embassy in your country also, where my employees are working, you don't levy tax on. that country exempts salary of Indian embassy employees. समझा? It is always mutual. Love, affection, hatred, tax exemption. Everything is always mutual. That is not a trade or profession. So, abhi, if you stay for many years in the country, forget many years, salary aate hi, there will be bank interest also. One, we are granting exemption only on salary. Bank interest is taxable. And two, this is not violated just because you have bank interest or dividend income or rental income. Because you have not engaged in any other trade or profession. Samjha? So, this stays fulfilled even when you have investment income. So, salary will still be exempt. Other incomes will be taxable. Samjha? Hello? Done? So, you exempt Indian embassy ka employees ka salary and we exempt your embassy employees ka salary. Now clear everyone? So, second. Hello? Loudly please. वहां पे मतलब he is working here, he is staying also here, वो resident है, resident has to pay tax on global income, वो भी taxable होगा. Then that home country is also going to levy tax. Home country India है, host country जहाँ पे source है, that country will also levy tax. Is that resulting in double taxation? I think I had told you also about tax treaties between two countries where one of the countries will forego the tax ultimately. For now it is taxable, but because you are suffering double taxation, one of the countries will forego the tax. That is known as double taxation relief. First chapter of CFI. Name of the chapter itself is self-explanatory. Double taxation relief. Samjha? Okay. Second exemption. Exemption for whom? Now they are not interrelated. No connection. Tax exemption for non-citizen. Correct? Hai? If you are employee of a foreign enterprise, they have very carefully drafted this. Observe karo. They have not said foreign company or firm or LLP. They say foreign enterprise. It can be a proprietor in a foreign country and you are employee of that proprietor. It can be a family owned business. India mein we call it HUF. Internationally they are known as family owned businesses. It can be a company, firm, AOP trust ka employee. Enterprise word is wide, it will cover everything. You are employee of a foreign enterprise who is working in India. Fantastic. What is your place of work? India. That means where is your salary arising? In India. To hell with your residential status. Is it taxable for everyone, resident as well as non-resident? Why? Indian income taxable for everyone. Ye correct hai na? So is it taxable? But we are granting you exemption on the salary that you are earning in India. Once again, if you fulfill the following two conditions. Once again, if you fulfill the following two conditions. Matlab earlier it was embassy ka employees. Now it is any employee. Where are you working? In India. But that salary that you are earning in India will not be taxable if condition 1. Your stay in India does not exceed 90 days during the year, during the previous year. You understand why previous year? Because previous year is the year for which we are calculating income and tax. 25, 26 for your exam. Equal to 90 is fine. Dekho, clearly written. Less than or equal to 90 days. See, with 90 days, you may become resident or non-resident. Depend karta. 182 is not fulfilled, but 63, 65 may you can become resident. But doesn't matter whether you are resident or non-resident, the salary is still taxable in India. because it is arising in India. That salary we will grant you exemption if your stay is not exceeding 90 days. And that means again, cumulative condition, both conditions have to be fulfilled. Second condition, the employer organization matlab that enterprise for which you are working in India, that enterprise is not engaged in any kind of trade or profession in India. Employer organization is not engaged in any kind of trade or profession in India. Matlab, listen, you are working this time not for an embassy, for a foreign company, firm, LLP, any organization. That company has sent you for work to India. So for that period, which cannot exceed 90 days, less than or equal to 90 days, you are working for your employer organization in India for a maximum period of 90 days. And during that period, your employer organization is not engaged in any trade or profession in India. So the salary arising in India will be exempt. While it is very easy to understand the condition written. Kya samajh gaye? Number of days ka restriction, and my boss for whom I am working should not be engaged in any trade or profession in India. But this takes me to a different doubt altogether. I have a question on the very existence of this section, and you all are an intelligent audience. Kya hai wo doubt? If your employer organization does not have any business activity in India, why are you sending your employees? Gana gana. Sending employees by Gana gana. He's saying yes. No. So, why are you sending your employees? Dance? No. Why? Very good. So first, you raised the doubt, and now you are intelligent enough to also answer, exploring a new market. While there is till now no activity, but in future maybe. Now think about it. Whether there is business or no business, if we are sending our employee, we have to pay his cost of tour and we have to pay his salary also. But that salary is arising when he is working in India. So that way Indian government has right to take tax, but they are exempting it because you have only come for research. You have as such not done any productive activity or taken away funds from India. और कोई example? Research करने के लिए. वो that will fall in this one wide word research. In this prospective business, marketing, brand building, everything is covered. So marketing में, advertisement में, everything is covered. Okay. Cultural action, but then it is possible that उसके अंदर employer is still doing some business activity. या ऐसे ही invitation के ऊपर you have sent an employee, वो थोड़ा सा doubtful है. More likely can be something like a training. ये possible. Foreign company, supposingly you want to start UK में डब्बा वाला business. मुंबई का टिफिन वालास, डब्बा वालास they were invited by Prince Charles to उसका palace. It was a case study for them that how they are never late even by a minute, and they have never mixed up or misplaced a single tiffin. So how are you doing it? My company wants to start this business in UK. I send some of my employees to take training from the dabba wala. So at that time, is my employee working in India? Maximum stay 90 days. Acquiring those skills, even if it is the training phase, no salary will be paid. Salary is rising in India, but exempt because stay is not exceeding 90 days. An employer is only sending you for training, not engaged in any trade or profession. One last example, and then we will wind up. Think about it. We have only sent employees to collect news, collect articles, to cover some big event. Now, whether it is the World Cup final of 20. World Cup final? Ahmedabad. What else? Any recent event you remember? famous event, international media का attention was Coldplay का concert. Fair enough, of course, so boy. तो ब्रो क्या बोल रहा है? It is happening in India. उसका एग्जांपल लेना था ना. ऑस्ट्रेलिया में तो होगा. अनंत अंबानी का शादी, हाँ राइट है. It was international. Look where we have reached. One industrialist का बेटे का wedding is an international news. हाँ. तो but the thing is that are the news reporters? लेकिन उसका शादी तो 90 days से ज्यादा चला. See, second condition also has to be fulfilled. If but क्योंकि क्या है? If I take that Anand Ambani का wedding as an example, people make raise technical objections to it. Sir, you said 90 days का restriction है. उसका अभी कल चल रहा है, खत्म हो गया. हाँ. So this was your hello. This was your second case of tax exemption to non-citizens subject to two conditions. Sir, what are the two conditions? Stay in India not exceeding and cumulative employer not engaged in any trade or profession. Everyone is clear? So now ये 10(6) में ना we have C and D also. Then we will go to the next section of exempt income. You understanding the chronology? So of course you know this. I hope you have not forgotten. Every day we start on a new PDF. Then I save that PDF and you all circulate it amongst yourself. So tomorrow का lecture we will start like this. See, समझा? Okay. Please make sure. सुनो. Please don't do packing when I am talking because it is, I feel offended. Suno. Please make sure you have gone through everything of this chapter done and also residential status. My target is that the questions that we have till now not done in residential status, we do them and that serves as a revision because it's a gap of 4 months and it's a big gap. Okay? Fantastic. We will continue in tomorrow's class. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.